This is our tiny teardrop camper, and today we're going to show you what we take camping.
Alright, so we're going to show you what we put in our kitchen, in our dining room area. Come on in. Okay, so first off, this is a, I don't know what you'd call it.
It's a Campobello's.
Cabela's. It's a Cabela's camp table. And we pack this in the back of the truck because whenever we go places, we like to have more counter space than our teardrop camper offers, but we don't want a big camper. So it folds up into this little bitty sandwich bag, guys. I mean, literally, it folds down. And when we get to our campsite, we can unfold it, and we've got this amazing kitchen countertop area. It gives us plenty of space for everything that we need, and we totally feel like we're at home using this. So over here, I'm going to show you what we put in our camper, because when we go places, everyone is always amazed that, you mean you sleep in this thing? How do you fit in here? And they don't even know that in the back is a kitchen. So in our kitchen, I'm going to show you the basics, which is our stove and our oven. Here's our Camp Chef, and it's a 2-burner stove with an oven. Just slides right in here, nice and hidden. We have our refrigerator, has fish in it, so I'm not going to show you what's in there right now. And then this, we just put the stuff that's on my outdoor kitchen goes all in here. The toaster, the coffee pot, the can opener, all those things. So this is just our big storage bin. And then here is where all of our silverware, Reynolds wrap, stuff like that, knives, scissors. And then, of course, up here is more like my spice. You know, we have spices and oils and sugars. I store my coffee in here, and when we're packing, all my food will go in here. I just tuck it all in there. But as you can see, it holds quite a bit. And then this is the same, but it usually has pots and pans. If I need a bigger pot, I'll take it with me that trip. Big strainers. It has all of our plates and cups and everything down in here. And you can still pack food in here because it goes up pretty high up here and down bottom. So it's up top and down bottom. And then here, of course, is the command center with the light switch here for the puck lights. And then you can plug in USB ports, and then this lets you know how much battery voltage you have left. Plug in here. So, and plus we can store some stuff down in here, which is usually our card holder. We store that down in there. So we usually take a big bottle of water camping, and we have this nifty little water. It allows us to pump water out into. And then we take a can opener, we have a toaster, a coffee pot, and sometimes I'll bring a slow cooker. It's a camp slow cooker, so that's why I have all these different utensils, because sometimes I cook in that. And then I found these baskets, which they collapse down into like nothing, and they're amazing. You open them up and you got all sorts of extra storage. I put one on each side. Of course, we have the lights strung up. We bring those along with us, and we bring a trash can, which is over here in
and it collapses down.
And it collapses down, and then
Recently upgraded to a 5-day cooler.
Our cooler. TV trays. We have a couple of TV trays, and
Tables.
our scuttle. And these 2 tents allow us to make what is like a 2-room, like contained, you know, space here. We can close these down and have very private, but this is our kitchen and dining room, and then this is more of like our living room / changing quarters, or we can put up a little potty in a little potty house.
A lot of people wondering, where do you put all the stuff that you take camping? Well, for starters, let me just say this. we're not minimalist camping. We didn't go to a teardrop so that we could go camping with less stuff. We just chose to go camping in a teardrop because it gets us more outside. So therefore, since we're not minimalist campers, we bring a lot of stuff with us. One of the things we recently bought for this trip down to the Key West is a generator, because it's basically dry camping. If you want electricity, you got to furnish it yourself. So we bought a Westinghouse generator, and this is where it's set for the entire trip. Now when we're packing our truck to go camping, the first thing that we put in is that big kitchen unit that Michelle showed you a while ago. That collapses all down into a bag about 2.5 foot by about 3 foot or so, and it goes right into the bed all the way to the cabin. That's the first thing that goes in. On top of that, our rocking chairs collapse down, and we bring at least 2, sometimes 4, depending on if we're going to be in an event where we expect to have company. And those chairs will go right on top of that kitchen. They'll get stacked in there. One of the things you haven't seen is we usually bring a fan if it's going to be warm weather, and then the fan will kind of get tucked in there. The next thing we choose to put in is the 2 tents that you see, and they are in these long black bags, and so we shove them in side by side this way. One of the things we've been bringing is a microwave, but the last 3 or 4 camping trips we've been on, we haven't used a microwave. So we're going to be taking the microwave out, and that'll give us some more space. The Rubbermaid tote is basically a catch-all for all the little stuff that we take camping. And then as we finish up packing, we'll put our cooler right here. Then we'll put our 2 rugs, fold those up and put them in here also. That'll be the last thing to come out. Now the reason that we pack this way is because we get to the campsite, the very first thing that comes out are those 2 big tents. So we can move the cooler or the generator and pull those 2 tents out, get those set up, throw down the rugs, we'll put up the big kitchen unit that Michelle showed you, and then we start unpacking the smaller stuff. One of the recent ads that we've added to our camping is this 6-foot collapsible pole with a long-range antenna on top. Sometimes we're camping in remote areas that are up in high mountains and stuff, and we need to get our antenna just a little bit higher than head high. So we put it on top of this pole, set it right down into our skyjacker bicycle holder, and then that's where it's at. Then we run the cable and we plug that into the side of the camper, which leads us to the next thing that we take along with us. We take bicycles. We have our e-bikes. My bike goes on the outside, Michelle's goes on the inside.
Right.
All right, so the next thing that we have that carries a lot of stuff is our tongue box. Down our tongue box, we always carry at least 2 good long extension cords. You never know where your power is going to be and where you need to run power to. We carry our plenum box that has our air conditioner unit in it, along with the tubes, and a fan booster to help move the air along. We have some bungee cords just to strap stuff down with. No particular use for this, but we always seem to be using it. We get the nice big tent stakes so we can stake down our tents. A little bit of duct tape in case you need to repair something. And then here's Molly. Molly is a hatchet. And we use this to drive our tent stakes, or maybe chop up a little bit of kindling for a fire. And that just fits right down the side right there, blade down. Another thing that also goes in here is our boot that goes around the tire in case we need to go off to town somewhere. We want to feel a little more secure that no one's going to steal our camper. We boot our camper. We'll show you that in a clip. Another thing that we store in this tongue box is the electrical cord, the 30-amp cord. We'll unplug from the side of the camper, we'll roll that up, and we'll fit that in here also.
Water hose?
We also put our water hose in here. Now, one of the things that I learned is we don't just undo the water hose and then just stick it in here because there's water in there. We'll drain the water hose down, I'll coil it up, and then screw the ends of it together so water can't leak out, and then we put the sprayer nozzles separate. Now what you see here, in case this is your first time watching our channel, are Valterra ports. You would think the Valterra ports indicate sewage, gray water, black water, but that's not what we use ours for. This is where our air condition ports, this is our supply port that goes to our air condition that you saw in the plenum box. And this is our return port. We set our air conditioner right here. The booster fan helps circulate the air through. And so it's very important to Michelle and myself that we have all the comforts of home. Again, we're not minimalist campers. So we take a nice long cord so that we can plug our TV antenna here, and then this is wired to a port on the inside where our TV will screw into that port. And then we are wired for 30 amps, so that 30 amp cord goes in the tom box. And we got our boot down there that also goes in the tom box, like I mentioned earlier.
All right, so now we're inside the camper and everybody's like, well, how do y'all fit in there? And I'm sitting in the corner up by I got pillows, I got plenty of space out beside me. Randall's on the opposite corner filming, so there's a lot more room in here than just sticking your head in here and looking in. Once you climb in here, if you could show the foot space, baby, how everything is, I mean, there's so much more room.
Your feet fit all the
Yeah.
way under there, and you're not cramped.
Right.
Like when you're rolling around at night, your foot is not
See?
against anything down there.
Yeah. So there's lots of room. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we keep on the inside. So we have like a his and her compartment right here. And in mine, I have a first aid kit. I've got like some extra.
Take it down, show.
Oh,
Show and tell.
show and tell. Okay, don't want to show that. Feminine products. And then I have a first aid kit that we used to carry on the Appalachian Trail. So it's got Band-Aids, it's got medicine, matches, tape, stuff
Michelle
like
is
that.
married to a man that always requires bandaging.
And then I've got like my Fitbit charger. There's a headlamp in here. I've got extra silverware in case we want to, if it's raining and we just want to jump in the camper and eat inside on the bed. I've got Kleenexes. I got a little mini fan in here. I've got wipes in case we want to wipe my hands off. And of course there's, name tags, and I've got perfume. And so literally
And there's a headlamp in there too.
Yeah,
in case you're doing something in the dark.
Yeah, I already showed that. There's a headlamp, and there's remotes. We've got for a fire stick for the TV. I'll show you our TV later. And then this is a therapy ball, because every now and then I'll get a little a pull in my muscle in my shoulder. So you can put it behind you and roll on it and everything. But I like to keep it in the camper. That way I'll always have it no matter where I am. Like if I'm at home and I need my therapy ball, I just come out of the camper and get it. But if I'm in the camper and we're camping somewhere and I don't have my therapy ball, then I'm SOL. I don't have my therapy ball. So it's important just to keep it in the camper. And it's small. It fits in here perfect. And on the outside, I have a easy to reach little safety pin, because sometimes I need a safety pin for stuff. And then, I like to decorate our camper. So I've got some flowers and fake plants and whatnot. But this right here is sort of like my catch-all. I'll put my necklace, my bracelet, jewelry. I'll put my hair clips here. But
Cell phone at night.
cell phone, I like to move this over, and I'll slide my cell phone right here. And then this is a light strip that I added later on, and it's battery ran. So if we're
There's the battery pack
if
right
we're
there.
if we're having to stay at, like, say the rest area, and we need to save the battery for Randall's CPAP, then we can turn this battery light on, and we don't have to use the battery in the camper.
The
So
12 volt saves the 12 volt for overnight.
Right.
Boondocking.
exactly. All right, so And then we've got another plant over here on Randall's side.
Let's
and
see what Randall has in his.
I'll show you what Randall has in his toolbox. I call his box a toolbox.
Got my phone. There's a charger. I put my keys in there. Keep a book. And then there's a knife with some guy wires.
All sorts of good stuff in
staking
there.
out tents.
Yeah, a headlamp in there.
I got a 30 amp to a 115 converter plug. That's my second one. That's a standby. This is Michelle's stuff right here. That's a bunch of stuff to hang lights.
And it's the clamps for whenever we make the bed and we want it to look real nice, we'll clamp the bed cover down, and there's all sorts of...
We got a tool for the e-bikes, and we always keep a little screwdriver, a couple of different types of screwdrivers, because you never know when you're going to need a screwdriver. Always need some tape, and then Michelle's got some sticky stuff. Badges for teardrop gatherings. And there's some batteries in there, some bungee cords, and little charge plugs, and a couple of knives in there also. So that's what's in my box.
Ooh, and there's a little bitty tripod.
Which we never use.
But you never know. Okay, so down here behind the headboard, okay, so this is a great place. Let's talk about this. This is behind our pillows here, and right here we like to set our drinks. You know, say if we have, you know, some water or sodas or something, we can...
It's a good shelf.
It's a great shelf to put our drinks. And then I have a little fan because I like the fan noise, and it also does heat, but it'll take the air coming in from the air conditioner and really blow it really quick in here. And we have our little reading lights, so if I want to turn it around and face me while I'm reading at night, I won't have to wake Randall up. So,
or if Randall wants to look through a seed catalog at night.
So we put these little magnet strips on the back, which is great because it just holds that up and it doesn't have to fall down on you. And if Randall can show down in there, I'm not going to drag all that out, but there's like games over here and frisbees and all sorts. There's a mosquito repellent thing. There's all sorts. There's a food tray that we can pull out. There's just room for everything in there.
A 12-volt fan right there that we have not installed yet. That's brand new for this trip.
Yeah.
We just got to screw it in.
Yep, that's right.
Off to the side there, you'll see the top 115.
And I brought a mirror right here. This right here is a mirror. So if I need to see, you know, if we're going somewhere fancy and I want to see what I look like, then I just pull that out. So show the other side.
All right, so let me move my CPAP. So down on this side we have a tent, or not a tent, it's a hammock tent.
It's a hammock tent.
Tent style, and it takes 3 trees to rig this thing, but someone that wants to stay overnight with us, we can rig this up between some trees and they can sleep outside in the hammock tent.
And it's pretty cool.
I'll just say one thing about my camper that, and I know this is supposed to be a what we bring camping video, but this top set of plugs is just a standard 115. When we are wired up to 30 amp, I can plug in electronics for like Michelle's fan right there. But that bottom one down there, I run to my converter, and I convert 12 volt to 115. So if we're boondocking and I have to have 115 to power my CPAP or something like that, I can put those clamps on the battery and convert 12 volt back to 115, and that's what that bottom set of plugs are down there. All right. And then over here we have our air conditioner controller with our return air right back there. And you can see the control cords for the air conditioner come right in and plug right into our controller there. All right, now let's show you what's on the other side of the cabin.
All right, so I just wanted to show y'all a little bit of what's behind me here. I made this. We have this porthole window.
You can see out in the campground.
Yep. And slightly tinted. And I love having the porthole window, and sometimes I do leave it open, especially on a cold day, and I want to warm up the cabin a little bit. But whenever it's hot, I like to keep it covered. So I found this little sign at my local thrift store that I absolutely love. So I took and I think I hot glued.
Some magnets.
Yeah, some magnets. I might have super glued some magnets to it. And then
look at there, people are looking at our camper.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah. So I super glued some magnets, and on the other side I took some fabric, and you can kind of see. Yeah. You can kind of see behind the fabric on the wood. I also glued some big magnets here that I purchased off of Amazon, and then I glued one down here. And the reason being is on the window here, there's another magnet glued on the top and one on the bottom. So when we're traveling, or like if at night, I like for it to be completely black. So I put the Hello Sunshine side always facing out. It's hard to do it the way I'm positioned.
Try to face the camera and place the porthole
There we go.
cover.
Okay. So there's my window covering.
So we can sleep at night without a lot of light coming in.
I've seen a lot of different styles. There's like that round fan style that you can buy. And I just don't like to have what everybody else has. I want to have something different. So I thought I'll make my own. I found that sign and it fit the hole perfect. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about these signs. I do like to decorate. My house is, kind of nostalgic. I have a lot of decorations around. So we have a sign up here. And then we have a sign over here, and then this one's just kind of in the middle. So these two, this one and this one, is to hide the
anchors for the roof rack.
Right.
So you can't see them when you're a visitor looking into our cabin.
Yeah.
You don't see those metal anchor plates.
And I didn't put anything yet on the other side where Randall is. I haven't really thought about.
Don't really need it.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about what I want over there, but it hides the anchor plates, so it's just prettier to see a picture than the black anchor plates. So, all right.
So our TV, we
Yes.
recently had a 19-inch TV that decided to stop working on us.
Yeah.
And so we went to Walmart. This is near a store at the time where we were camping. And we got the smallest TV we could, which was this gigantic booger of a TV.
And that's okay.
And actually, it's a lot lighter than our last
Yeah,
TV.
a lot lighter.
And so let's take it down.
It's on an arm. Oh, you want to take it down?
Yeah, take it down. And let's kind of show them how it's all mounted. And then there's a swing arm we got off Amazon that is mounted to the side of our cabin. And it has that plate, and then a plate that mounts to the back of the TV. I cut out a little piece of the wood so that arm knuckle can swing all the way in. Up there in the top, we keep all of our towels, and in the bottom, we keep all of our shower.
Yeah, like this will have so shampoo caddy, and then all my hair stuff, shampoos and soaps, and so we just slide all that in there, and there's lips on the inside that keeps it from falling out when we're traveling. We've never had these fall out, and we take the TV down while we're traveling, and we still haven't had these come out while we're traveling. We've hit some serious bumps too.
On our first trip to Arkansas,
Yeah.
the camper went airborne.
Yeah,
We hit a big pothole on the interstate.
All the wheels came off the ground. So this was my idea of putting in the sliding barn doors. Randall doesn't particularly like it, and I get it. It's kind of
A little inconvenient
with
for me.
the TV arm here and the TV. It's not really
Yeah, when
easy.
the arm is all the way over, my door still doesn't open all the way over.
right.
So I'm going to convert mine to open up. With
Yeah.
hidden hinges.
And I still want mine to slide, so I get more room. So there we go. I'm just going to move it to that so you can just see
Open it all the way up. There you go.
what I have in here. So I'm not going to show you all my stuff, but this is a removable tub. We slide it out whenever we're going camping, and we bring it in the house, and we camp, I put all my clothes and stuff in here. I can also pack shoes off to the side and whatnot, jackets or anything I want to tuck in here. So there's a little bit of room left over, and then they're self-closing doors. So
So they
'cause-
stay shut during travel.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about anything coming down or flying out. And it just, to me, it just looks different. It's something no one else has, and I wanted something no one else has. So
There's one more thing I want to show everybody. When
Okay.
when we're going to have rain or something at night, we need to bring our shoes in.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Michelle keeps her purses and everything down here. We have Tupperware boxes that we put our shoes in, and then they just tuck behind our headboard, and then our pillows just kind of fill up this area right here.
Yeah.
So we have a decorative pillow that we'll lay down, and then the pillow we sleep on goes over all that. So there. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the tour.
Yes, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the like button. And as always,
Keep growing,
keep building.
and
Always keep adventuring. And together, we're Flomaton famous.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.